Hi, this is Andrew for Geek News Central, and on the desk in front of me I have the Roku Express. This is one of two new models, the other one being the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. These are new to the UK. We haven't had these ones, and there's been a bit of an absence of Roku bringing new products to the market within the UK over the past, I think, year to 18 months. We've been relying on the Roku 2 and Roku 3 models, so it's good to see Roku coming back to the market. So this is it's the Roku Express, which is relatively inexpensive. I think it's just under £30. I think it's £29, and this is very much aimed at those people who really want the entry level, or they don't have a particularly fancy flat screen TV, and they want to be able to stream from Netflix, Spotify, all the iPlayers and those kinds of things. So it's very much priced competitive. It's very competitively priced, I think. So let's get it out of the box and take a look. Okay. Let's try this at home, as they say, kids. If I can get it in here. There we go. That's it. So, must be a sticker somewhere else. Yeah, there's another one down the centre too. Okay, so what have we got here? Okay, let's try and get it back in focus. Back in focus, please. That's a bit better. Yep, there we go. So we've got the Roku here, and you can see, those of you who might be familiar with previous Rokus, they were kind of more little square, more rectangular puck style. We've kind of got this sort of, I say it's a bit like a Nintendo Switch controller. And we've got the remote control as well. Oops, that wasn't a good start. And I have to say, one of the good things about Roku is that they always supply batteries for their remotes, and you don't need to be scrambling down to the shops to get new batteries. Better get just getting the remote control back out there. So we've got the instructions, and we've got a USB power supply for it. They uses I don't know if you can see that, but that's the micro USB style connector. And always a nice touch as well is that you get your HDMI cable as well. There's no, it really annoys me, so much AV stuff you get it out of the box, and there's no HDMI cable. So a big thumbs up to Roku for doing that. Don't think there's anything else in the box. Yep, that's it. Okay, so. And also in the box there is a little piece of, I'm guessing this is going to be a piece of something sticky, yeah. So you're going to stick that on the bottom there, and you're going to stick that on your desk, so that you can make sure your remote control is pointing in the right direction. This is, as far as I remember, this is an infrared remote control. It's not a wireless one, so I think you do have to have line of sight in order to be able to change the channels on your Roku and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well. Look, I guess just to have a quick look around here. We have got our HDMI, you've got your micro USB slot, there's a little reset button there. I mean, unlike some of the previous models, there's no capacity for micro SD cards or for USB keys. So if you're the kind of person who's got a lot of video on either an external hard drive or something like that, you might want to look elsewhere. Or else if I remember, there are apps that allow you to access NAS hard drives over the network. So rather than having a USB hard drive, you might have to invest in a NAS hard drive. I think it also has links in for, I'm trying to remember the really popular sort of data storage thing, but never mind, come back to me. But there are quite a lot of apps on the Roku store for accessing storage remotely. Okay, and as with the Express Plus, the Stream Stick Plus, there's no network cable required anymore. Everything's done wirelessly. Okay, so that's about that for now. I'll get everything together and we'll take a review of the operating system, more of the Roku in action a bit later on. Okay, thanks very much. Back soon. Okay, so here's the Roku Express all set up. You've got the HDMI cable here, and you've got the USB cable there. The HDMI cable is actually quite short. You can just basically although you can, let me just unplug that. That's basically the length of it. So it's not particularly that long, but I guess most of the time you're going to have this relatively close to the TV that you're wanting to connect up with. So I'm not bothered trying to put that back in, as I have to reach over, but just to watch out for that. I mean, HDMI cables are relatively inexpensive, so you can easily get another one if you need to. The remote, as I say, it's an infrared remote. Here you can see you'll see the lights flash, I imagine, as I press it. You can just see it doing there as I do it. And the remote has a couple of hotkeys, if you like, for things Netflix, Red Bull TV, Roku TV, which is, sorry, just hold it so it's in focus. You've got Netflix, Roku TV, and Yup TV. No idea what Yup TV. I know about Red Bull TV, Netflix, and Roku TV. Okay, we'll have a look at the interface in more detail in just a second. Okay, so we're back with the Roku Express. I've powered it up. It's gone through the boot up procedure. Just takes a few seconds, and it's now just going to go through the setup. So it's just going to check the language, and it's now looking for my wireless networks. So it's picked up my 11BGN network. The Streaming Stick Plus has the 11AC on it. So if you're interested in high performance, then you'll need to look at the Streaming Stick Plus. This is just the Roku Express. It's just a standard HD, so the 2.4 gigahertz stuff should be just fine. Now you do have to put in your password for your wireless network. It's a bit faffy in that you have to scroll backwards and forwards. I'm obviously going to have to pause the video to put this in. Don't want you all coming and hogging my bandwidth, so hold on. Okay, so I've put in the PIN or the password for my wireless network. It's checking the network. And okay, it's going to do an update. Okay, so I connected it to my wireless network, put in my wireless password. It connected up to the internet, recognized it needed some updates, and it's now just rebooting to install those updates. And here we are. Now, if it's like the procedures I've done before, it's going to want to figure out what kind of TV I've got connected up. So I've just got a fairly standard HD TV. Yep, that looks good. And it's going to want me to do to basically log on through the app or through the web. So it's definitely much more convenient rather than trying to use the remote to put in your username and password. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I've done the update on my tablet, on my PC. So it's now loading the channels that are already associated with my Roku account onto the Roku Express. This is great if you are already a Roku user. Effectively, it seamlessly transfers any of your channels across. It just takes a few moments to do. So, but it rattles through it rightly, as you can see. So we'll come back once it's finished updating all 50 odd channels. Right, well, we've updated all the channels on the Roku, so we should now be able to get going. As I mentioned at the bottom screen, there is a complimentary app that allows you to do all the kinds of things that you'd expect, and change channel, choose new channels, all those kinds of things. So let's just have a wee look through. These are all the channels that the Roku has. As I say, these were preloaded from my existing account. So we've got things like BBC iPlayer. Just check how they go. So this is the first time, looks like it's loading it up. The way the Roku kind of works is that it has memory in it, which allows it to cache some of the apps or the channels, and the most popular ones stay in memory. The ones that aren't so frequently used get pushed out. So over time it learns which are your, if you like, your favourite channels and keeps them in memory and throws out the ones that aren't used so often. So flicking across, so here's all the usual iPlayer stuff from the BBC. Looks good. And we've also got things like Netflix. You've got the Roku Media Player. If you do have a NAS or you want to play stuff from storage on the net, on your own network, that's the one to use. You've got the likes of YouTube. Again, when we start this up, you'll probably see it loading it up. But as I said, over time it learns your favourite ones and keeps those in memory. So just to show you that, once we've had a quick look at YouTube, we'll go back to the BBC and check that it loads quickly. Yep, there we go. And once the app's in memory, off it goes. And that's pretty quick. And certainly I had a problem with the previous Roku 2. It was because the YouTube app was problematic on it. This looks like it's pretty swift. So just to check that the caching works, let's just go on back up to the BBC, and this time you'll see that it should pretty much load instantaneously. Well, wasn't bad. So as you say, don't worry about that loading. It only occurs really the first time you look at an app, or if it is an app that you haven't looked at in quite a while, or a channel that you haven't looked at in quite a while. So hopefully you see stuff that you all know and love. There's Amazon Video, there's Vimeo, there's Spotify, you've got Demand 5 and All 4, some of and ITV as well. They're the kind of UK national broadcasters, so you've got their catch-up TV, you've got a few other things, Red Bull TV, SW, all those kinds of things. So all the good stuff that you'd expect from Roku's there. You can reorganize the order of these, so just because it's got iPlayer and Netflix at the top, and let's say you wanted them at the bottom, it's easy enough to move those around. It's very straightforward. I think you just press star and you can move channel, so you can then just squeeze it down in place and everything reorganizes. Okay, so you've got your home, that's where you go for most of your stuff. You've got your feed, which kind of shows you what's going on in your feed, and any movies you might want to watch and all those kinds of stuff. Search allows you to look for anything, whether it's a movie, a TV show, art or actor or director. It's pretty good actually. It's quite good at finding stuff. And you've also got your channels. So this is where you'd actually go to pick up new stuff. Well, not new stuff. New. When I say new stuff, I mean new to your channel. So if you're looking for new to your stream, if you're looking for a new channel, you can come in here and look at things like the most popular new, all that sort of stuff. Plex, that was something I was trying to remember earlier. There is a Plex app on Roku. So I quite often come in here just to see what's hot. What's new is also quite good. You can basically scroll through any new channels and pick up anything that takes your fancy. And finally in settings, you can go in here and just make sure that everything's working. So good to look at to see what display types are supported. This is the entry-level model. It's, as I say, it's only penny under 30 quid. So it supports the HD stuff, but it doesn't go to 4K. If you want 4K, it's the Streaming Stick Plus. Okay, I pretty much think that's largely it. Yeah, to summarise, it's what we've got here is the Roku Express. It's new to the UK, very much replacing, I'd say, the previous Roku 2 models. Does everything that they did, as far as I can tell, and it's relatively inexpensive at just a penny under 30 quid, and it's perfect for those second TVs where you perhaps only have HD, you don't have 4K, or a children's TV, and it's just anybody who has used Roku's recognise it straight away. Anybody who's coming to you Roku's, I think the big friendly icon, it's very straightforward. There's no having to divvy stuff up into games or into sound or films or whatever. It's just a case of going there, scrolling up and down to find the channel that you want, pressing the button, and away it goes. So recommended, as they say. It's definitely, I mean, I definitely do like the Roku interface much more than the Amazon interface. I find the Amazon interface tremendously confusing. I mean, it has everything beautifully categorized, but just when you want to get in there and find something, I just find it annoying, shall we say. Okay, well, look, that's Andrew for Geek News Central with the Roku Express. Thanks very much indeed.